from station WDWL TV, located on Grumpy Vulture Boulevard, a division of Grumpy Vulture Productions, live from Studio B. It's me, the grumpy old man. Hello, friends. And I'm not trying to be incognito, but I had an eye exam today. And as you know, with most eye exams, they do this thing called eye dilation so that they can look into the back of your eye. Well, Grumpy, unfortunately, is still suffering the effects of eye dilation because the shit hasn't worn off, for Christ's sake. Then, dummy me, I forget to bring these with me, knowing what it's like. Left them in the truck. Stepped out of the hospital, and I thought the sun had literally fallen from the sky and landed in front of me. I was like, holy shit. I couldn't see. Out of the corner of my eye, I kind of opened my eye, and there was a nurse standing there, and I said, could you do me a favor? She says, sure. I said, right there in the first spot, you'll see that white piece of shit mobile, the one that has the emblems on the fenders that says Shitbox Edition. I says, could you do me a favor? Could you guide me over to the driver's door? She goes, you're going to try to drive? I said, well, my dark sunglasses are in the truck. Once I get the sunglasses on, I'll be okay. So she very kindly guides me over, and I get in and I reach over the passenger visor, and voila! My dark, and these are dark. You know, you have some that are basically like a smoke, gray, or a blue. These are like coal black. Yeah. I also have a pair that I wear at night. They're yellow. And believe it or not, people laugh. Yellow sunglasses at night will enhance, like, the road lines, and I wear them at night, although I don't drive at night too much. But, yeah, I'm suffering the effects. She goes, oh, you'll be good in a couple hours. Yeah. It's been 4. I'm still waiting to see. And it was fun going to the store right after I left the eye exam. I did get 4 more. 4 more Seagrams. I'm up to 30. And tomorrow, 4 more. I thought I was bad until I ran into a woman who was taking down 4 bottles of Seagrams from the rack in front of me. And I said, "Oh, another Seagram's ginger ale lover." And she says, "Oh, yeah." And she says, "At this price, I'm stocking up." I said, "Well, so am I." And she commenced to tell me, so far, she had 60 2-liter bottles. 60. I'm worried about people telling me I'm a goddamn hoarder with 30. This woman's got twice what I've got. 60, she said. As a matter of fact, the 4 she was getting today made 64. And I'm getting greedy. I says to her, "How did you manage 60? She says, "Well, what I do is I get 4. And then on the way home from work, my husband gets 4. So that's 8 a day. And then her neighbor gets 4. Got the neighbor in on it. I said, "Your neighbor goes daily?" "Oh, yeah, my neighbor likes to get out." So I asked her, I says, "Could you?" And her neighbor was like, 12 a day. She's doing 12 a day. I'm doing 4. And people look at me like, "Gee, leave some for someone else." 60. 60. Actually, with today, 64. And if her husband stops on the way home from work again today, it'll be 68. And if her neighbor does her daily 4, it'll be 72. And people look at me. Although, what I should have done was found out where she lived. Yeah. And that way, while she's up getting her daily 4, I could stop at her house and get 4. No, Grumpy'd never do that. Because somebody's liable to do it to Grumpy. But yeah, I'm doing 4 a day. She's doing 12. And the sale still goes on till the end of the month. 12 a day. She's doing 12 a day. She'll have a warehouse full. 12 a day. I'm doing 4. Unbelievable. And I asked her, I said, do you like Seagram's ginger ale? She said, no, not really, but for 59 cents, it works. At least I like the ginger ale. She's buying it, like I mentioned. People are buying it for the price. Because right next to the Seagrams is the $2.99 2 liters. So yeah, for 59 cents. And on the rack, there's that little yellow price tag, 59. Right next to it, $2.99, $2.99, $2.99. So yeah. I mentioned it, and I found a person that was buying it for the price. I'm doing both. I'm buying it for the price, and I'm buying it because I like it. But she's doing 12 a day. 12 a day. I'm doing 4. 4. And people yell at me. 4. $60. I almost fell over. She's lucky I didn't get a good look at her. I couldn't freaking see. And then, you know, you get strange looks when you walk into a store and you're wearing these dark glasses. Look at him. I still can't see. I thought by now it would have worn off a little bit. Nope. Although, it was good news. No change in the eyes. And what surprised the shit out of me, I thought it had been 2 years since the surgery. 4. Because the girl said, how come you waited 4 years? I didn't wait 4 years. She said, your surgery was in 2020. I said, you're kidding me. She spun the screen around and went, see? Oh. 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 Sorry. And they put all kinds of drops in your eyes. Jesus Christ. Drops for this exam. Drops for that exam. Then the biggie drops. Those come in a 2-parter. They put the first and then they put the second in. Like one must be an activator. And she goes, it might burn a little bit. Burn a little bit? I thought somebody took 2 hot pokers and stuck them in my eyes. Holy shit. I said, my eyes are on fire. She went, it's working. Oh, thank you. Can I have a CO2 extinguisher, please? And then they put you in that machine. You stick your head in it and your forehead goes right up and you got to hold on to it because you got to keep everything still. And this is the test that I hate. It's that eye pressure test where they blast a shot of air into your eye. Oh, I hate that. I hate that. Although it's a lot better than what the original test used to be when they used to actually stick some kind of device in your eye. Now it's, don't move. We got to do the other eye. Okay. Thank you. And then while you're trying to focus your eyes after it's been blasted with, 250,000 psi's of air, then they shine that super bright light so that the doctor can see the back of your eye. Although it's a lot better than ripping it out going, yeah, here you go. Although Grumpy is going to have to go in for some laser. Yeah, laser. They got to do a laser beam in my eye. Because my right eye, in the back here, is showing a little scarring from the surgical implant when they implant the lens. Yeah, the right eye is got a little scarring going on. So she said, in 6 months, make an appointment for a laser treatment. I said, why 6 months? She said, because we want to make sure that this scarring is not growing. I said, that don't make any sense. Wait 6 months, and you're going to check the eye again. And something wasn't computing. I said, you want me to make an appointment for laser treatment, but you want me to wait 6 months? Something wasn't computing. So I said, could you explain that again? Make an appointment for 6 months from now for a laser treatment that you might not do. Yeah. What it boils down to, friends, is in 6 months, if the scarring has not progressed past the stage it's in today, they will not laser it. But if it has progressed, they're going to burn the back of my eyeball off. Yeah. I got to burn my cigarette now. Yeah. So I make an appointment for October. October. Like I'm going to remember that far out. Yeah, it's like October 4th or 20th. I don't know. And then I go in, and they're going to, I love it, dilate the eye, and then shine that sunbeam in my eye, and look in the back, and check the scar. And if the scar has not progressed, see you, Grumpy. Come back in 6 months. If it has, I'm going to fry the back end of my eye. So it made for a very interesting visit. But the nice thing, no change. So Grumpy doesn't need new glasses. I won't need bicycle focals. And I don't have to buy new readers because the strength has remained the same. So it was good news, except for the scarring. But so far, it hasn't affected the vision. So I guess I shouldn't bitch about the after effects of the dilation. Plus, I don't have to spend money for new glasses. Okay. A little correction to yesterday's fondue. I actually read the article. Go figure. And the way it works in the clubs, fondue clubs. See, back in the day, when fondue was getting really big, we had actual fondue restaurants. Yeah. You could go to a fondue restaurant. And then when fondue went, so did the restaurants. Well, now, since fondue is making a comeback, they call them clubs. It's actually like a bar with fondue. A fondue bar. And the way it works, everyone gets a cube of bread, okay? And you're not allowed to cheat. You know, it's not, you can't twist that bread onto the end of your big, long fork. And the person that is dipping into the cheese fondue, whoever's bread falls off the fork buys the next round of drinks. Yeah. It's centered around a big cheese fondue pot. They showed a picture. Looks like a crock. I mean, this is a pretty good size. Although you've got like 12 people sitting around this table. And everybody's got one of them big long forks. And you have cubes of bread. And whoever's bread falls off the fork into the fondue gets a bafangou, because you buy the next round of drinks. Just saying. So far, around this area, I haven't heard of any fondue clubs. I suppose any bar could do it. It's nothing special. You just get a cheese fondue pot. Don't need a special club. I guess you could have a bar that would have like fondue night. I haven't heard of any yet. Now, I have a bitch about YouTubers. Let's call them arrogant YouTubers. YouTubers that like to hear their own voice. I watched one today. I've watched him a couple of times, and he had a panel. He had like 3 people. And he likes to hear himself talk. Because he will interrupt someone who is speaking to comment on something that was said in the chat, or someone who just entered the chat. Yeah. I wanted to punch my screen because he had this one fellow who was trying to give an answer to a question. And every time the poor guy would start to speak, it would be like, yeah, Susie, but he only does it at night. Or the guy start to talk again and be like, hey, Billy, welcome to the chat. And this goes on constantly. He asks a panelist a question. And as the panelist starts to answer, he interrupts the shit out of him. Like it's so important to say hello to Billy Bob or, Susie Q, while the guy is trying to answer the question you just asked him. And this goes on all the time. Someone will be talking, and he will welcome a new person to the chat. Now, Let me make one thing straight here. After a little dry mouth. It is nice to acknowledge your supporters, because most of these people are either subscribers or members. Now, if you're a member, you're paying $5.99 a month. Yeah, you're paying $6 a month to this YouTuber. So, yes, if you enter the chat, it is nice to be acknowledged, because you're shelling out $6 a month. But it is totally ignorant to interrupt a panelist you have invited. You know, you asked this person to come onto your channel and be interviewed. But as the person attempts to answer your question, you interrupt him multiple times. I don't think this poor guy ever finished an answer, because he would no sooner start to speak and Mr. "Oh, this is my channel," would interrupt him. Total ignorance. I would never go back. If I was invited as a panelist, first of all, I already know what's going to transpire. So if I was to get invited, which I never will, I would say thanks, but no thanks. And if he would ask me why, I would tell him. If you ask me a question, I would like to give the whole answer uninterrupted. But you like to hear yourself talk. You can't shut up for 30 seconds. And like I say, this isn't a one-time thing. It goes on constantly, nightly. No matter how many people he has on his panel, he has a regular, someone that comes up almost nightly. And this person, knowing that if he was going to say something, he would never get to finish, comes back constantly, like a glutton for punishment. I don't understand. Well, it boils down to he likes to hear his own voice. Also, he likes to have that show of superiority. This is my YouTube channel. You will bow down to me. Bullshit. Like I say, I would never. Even if he offered to pay me, nope. And he would ask why, and I would tell him, you're too goddamn ignorant. Plain and simple. You never learned anything in school. Like from kindergarten. How ignorant is to interrupt someone who is speaking. And it's obvious his parents never said anything to him. If it was my parents, it would be like, asshole, speak when spoken to. Okay. I learned from, Christ, 3-4 years old. When someone asks you a question, you will answer the question. And you will not interrupt someone who is speaking. Plain common sense. Like I say, it's obvious. No one ever corrected him. Or he had been corrected so many times growing up that now he is going to lash out. Like I say, my YouTube channel, you will bow down. I will interrupt you every single time you say a word. Okay. Yeah, if it wasn't that basically I'd get harassed and ostracized and threatened, I'd say who it is. But Grumpy ain't looking for trouble. I'm just voicing my opinion of his YouTube channel. And if perchance, which I seriously doubt, he would happen to listen to Grumpy, there's nothing he can do except get pissed off and maybe send me a threatening email. I'm not mentioning who it is. Could be any one of the millions of people on YouTube. But if perchance he would happen to see this stream, he would know who I'm talking about. And I know he would get seriously offended. Oh, he'd be so pissed off. He'd be sending people to beat up Grumpy. Or or have me stricken from YouTube. But I'm not mentioning your name. I'm not mentioning your channel. I'm not even mentioning anything close to where someone could figure out who I'm talking about, except you or one of your minions, you know. He does have minions, his loyal followers that probably scan YouTube daily looking for someone who is saying something against him. But even his minions wouldn't know for sure who Grumpy is talking about. I could be talking to one of any of the millions of people on YouTube. Because I'm sure he's not the only one that does this. I've seen a few others, but not as bad as he is. And knowing this, like I say, I would never go on his channel. Because I could never get in a word. Well, maybe a word. I know I could never finish a sentence. That's my gripe for that person. Just had to bring it up because it was something I was watching before I started my stream, and my blood pressure was cranking and my veins were sticking out of my forehead, and it was causing me to have less sight than what I have. Oh, the pupils. The pupils look like this. Talk about... Yeah, I came home and looked in the mirror. I was like, holy shit. Look at those eyeballs. They're huge. I understand why when I steps outside, I mean, it was like I stepped outside and a dozen SWAT teams lit up their lights all of a sudden. Don't move. Because the doors are tinted. So when I stepped into the lobby, the light wasn't that bad. And then the doors went, Thankfully, there was this nice nurse who took Grumpy by the arm and led him to his truck. She even opened the door for me. I got in like a blind person, put my sunglasses on, and then sat there and waited till my eyes focused. And then it was fun in the store. You ever try shopping with dark sunglasses? I'm like this, looking at the prices and looking at the items on the shelf like... People were like, Where's your seeing eye dog and your cane with the red tip? Go have some fondue. And I figured after a couple of hours, I'd be able to see. Not. I've never had this shit last this long. This must have been a super concentrated version. Although I've never had it burn like it did either. I guess it's like, we'll use the senior citizen vial. Yeah, I've never had a two-parter. She told me this is 2 parts. I said, oh? Yeah. We're going to put the first drop in. It was like 2 or 3 drops. Because it was like running down my face. And they give you this little tiny, can you afford a Kleenex? And then they put the second drop in. And she said, lay back, let it work. I says, okay. And then my eyes were on fucking fire. She goes, it's working. Yeah, burning the corneas off my eyes. Well, the dilation liquid did its job. Still, 5 hours later, yeah, I had the eye exam 5 hours ago. I still can't see. I get little vision, a little bit. The rest is like, I told her it's like looking through the bottom of a fish bowl. Like back in the day when they'd have, the kid that had Coke bottle glasses. That's what I feel I'm looking through, the bottom of a couple of Coke bottles. Because there's a little bit of vision, and then it's all hazy. Yeah, I get this hazy circle around my eyes. Can almost see the flame at the end of the cigarette. But I guess it was all worth it for her to say, you're good to go for 2 more years. Except the right eye, 6 months. Right eye, 6 months. I wonder what that laser's like. That they're going to zap the eye with if I need it. I'm going to have to find out what that laser is like. I think my friend's wife had that laser thing done. What do they call it? LASIK? Yeah, I think she had that done. I'll have to ask her. What's it like? Do you feel it? Is it like a big blast of light or some flame coming at your eye? Because I'm assuming that's what she meant. They can fix it with a laser. So it's got to be like that LASIK treatment shit. I just keep my fingers crossed that in 6 months, the scar hasn't gotten any bigger. Left eye, fine. Right eye, eh. And then I asked her. I said, before I had the Cadillacs taken off my eye, which eye was the worst? Because one was really bad. And I thought it was the right. She says, no, it was the left eye. I said, really? And she went in, pulled up the info, and she goes, yeah. She says, according to this, the left eye was nasty. Wow. And now the right eye's fucked up. Well, little scar. Hopefully the star don't get bigger. Yeah. October. I said, if there's scarring, why don't we get taken like now? You know, why wait to see if it's going to grow? Fix it now. Well, it's not that bad. Well, if it's not that bad, why did you mention it? Now she's going to have me wondering, is the scarring getting any worse? You know, look in the mirror every morning, cover the left eye, then cover the right eye. Yeah. Now she got grumpy, wound up. I'll be doing the eye check every week, you know. Cover one eye, look in the mirror. Cover that. Yeah, she got. If it seems like your eyesight in your right eye is getting any worse, let me know. I didn't know I had a problem to begin with. Now I have a problem. Walked in there, didn't think I had a problem. Now I got a problem. It would drive me crazy. Although I'll tell you what, I surprised the shit out of her assistant when I was doing the eye test. Because, you know, the letters get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And I read them right up. And she even said, I bet you don't get the last one. And you got that goofy thing covering one eye. I was like, okay, go do it. YLFDLU. She went, wow. All right. Cover the other eye. Okay. SELOHS. She's unbelievable. You didn't even stutter. You told me to read the line. I read the line. Does it get any smaller? She said, don't push your luck. I wanted to see, because I know they got one that's a little itty-bitty. But the last line that I read with both eyes was the 20/20 vision line. So at that point, we knew Grumpy had two good eyes. And then comes the doctor. Mr. Grumpy, right eye. I was just feeling so good about the eye exam. And then you have to ruin it. Tell me the right eye has got a problem. I just did 20/20, 20/20. Well, it's something that needs to have attention paid to it. I didn't have to pay attention to it before I came in here. I was feeling so good. 20/20. Perfect. Both eyes. I read that little itty bitty. And now you're telling me, right eye. Yeah. Oh. I think the doctors like to invent shit. Yeah. I was feeling good. The assistant said, "You did good. You didn't stutter. You went right across both those," because, they mix it up. You don't get the same letters for both eyes. Just in case, you memorize it real fast. And she popped up the right eye. I read it right across. And she, okay, let's do the other eye. She popped it up on the screen. And then in come the doctor and ruined my day. I was really feeling good. Doctors aren't supposed to ruin your day. They're supposed to make you feel good. Her assistant made me feel good. Because I shocked the shit out of her. She told me, "I've never had a patient blitz right through them. You told me to read the line." I read the line. Because it gets like this sign. You get the big letters, and then you get the small letters. And then they get smaller, like this one. And then you get like this, the little ones. She told me to read it. I read it. Then in comes the doctor. Mr. Grumpy, right eye. Right eye. I can see. But if you can't see, call me. Now I'm going to, every day, check that eye. Walking around. I don't want to do an eye test every morning, goddammit. Her assistant made me feel wonder. I was like, first time I've ever had a test that good. Then in come the doctor. And just kicked the box out from underneath me. The feel-good box. right eye. I don't want a bad right eye. I want a good right eye. Right eye. Now I'm going to be checked. Damn it. And part of the problem is, it was like when I had the Cadillacs. They sneak up on you. I didn't know I needed a seeing eye dog until I went for an exam. So how am I going to know if the right eye is going haywire? Have to check it daily. I don't want to check it daily. I don't want a bad right eye. I want a good right eye. If she was so worried about it, why didn't she laser me right there? She could have made the appointment. Hello, Mr. Grumpy needs a right eye. Okay, tell him to come in next week. No. She don't want me to have a good right eye. 6 months I'll be fucking worried about my eye. Damn it. Never a dull moment. And then I find out the damn bird's starting shit again. Yeah. He wants to come back for the intro. I don't want him here. And then he went, he still hasn't done the intro in the costume. Yeah. He had to remind the front office. I haven't, costume, beak, top hat. Yeah. So now, one day, I'm going to have to put on a costume and a beak and a top hat and introduce the fucking vulture. Welcome to the Grumpy Vulture Show. Beak, top hat. And I can't see the costume until the day we do it. So I told him it better not have feathers. Because if it has feathers, them feathers are going up in flames. Yep. So one day this week, I guess, I'll be introducing the Grumpy Vulture Show in a costume and a beak and a top hat. Top hat, I kind of liked it. But the beak? And now a costume? I don't want to wear a costume. I don't want the damn bird back. But the front office said, it's Grumpy Vulture Productions. He gets a bit of intro. Well, that's all he's going to get. A bit of intro. He ain't sticking around as a sidekick. No. Grumpy don't do sidekick. I already told the front office that. No sidekick. If he wants a show, there's a studio back there, Studio A. He can do his own show. He can have his own YouTube channel. He ain't sharing it with me. I'll give him a little intro. That's all he gets. Grumpy Vulture Productions. He can be here. And then it's get the hell out. Start your own YouTube channel. I knew it was coming. I knew it. In the back of my head, I was like, he ordered that costume, and I haven't worn it yet. But I didn't say nothing. And then this morning, he's in the front office. He does this while I'm at the doctor. I'm not here. I come back, trying to feel my way around the studio, and the front office said, "You haven't done the intro with the costume that the Vulture ordered." I said, "No." "Well, plan on it." Ugh. Damn bird. Bad enough. Where is he? Oh, he's hidden down there. Yeah, it's bad enough he got, he's on the plate. And then he's on all the ID cards. Got the name of the street changed. What more does he want? Next thing the studio name will change. It won't be WDWL TV anymore. It'll be Grumpy Vulture TV. Ain't happening. I'll move on somewhere else. Take my studio with me. Like I say, if he wants a show, Studio A's available. He could be broadcasting over there right now. No. He wants to be a sidekick. I'll kick him in his side. Damn bird. And with that, Mr. I Can't See is going to attempt to fix dinner. Hopefully I can see it. With that, friends, I will chat with you tomorrow.